Proverbs 10:19, when words are many, sin is not absent, but he who holds his tongue is wise. So how do we teach children in the art of either speaking slowly or even remaining silent, especially when there's conflict? Well, it means that when you're in the moment of conflict, say a child has disobeyed or say a child is upset, you as a parent are going to model for them few words in that moment versus many words. Often our response in the moment of conflict is to begin to lecture. We want to teach a lesson. We want to just work out all the details. Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? You see what happened when you did that? And what do? We start to keep words flowing out of our mouths through the whole thing because as though we can navigate to the other side of it just by speaking more words at them. But what if we just spoke a few words? Hey, why don't you go calm down and then we'll talk? Teach them what it is to be slow to speak. You know how people choose a word for the year? They'll choose a word and they're like, that's my word for the year. I always kind of thought it was a little, I sort of like secretly made fun of it a little bit because people were always choosing words that were like blessing or adore, and no one's was like repent. Like no one chooses repent for their word for the year. And a friend of mine said, you know what my word for this year is? It's hesitate. I'm in on the word for the year. Hesitate. We can teach our children that concept, to be slow to speak. Give them time to process in conflict. I have one child who, when she was in a frustrating situation, like it might just be that she felt like she was not being heard on a particular idea or thing that she wanted to do. And what she would do is begin to just have words fall out of her at a rapid rate, getting more and more agitated the more that she would talk. So we developed a process with her where we would say, you know what you should do? Why don't you go write down every single thing that you want to say to us? And then we will read every single word that you said. And because you wrote it down, it will be exactly the way that you wanted to say it. And so she would go upstairs with her pen and paper, and there's like smoke coming off of it because she's writing like crazy. She'd come back with like 5 pages of written stuff. And we didn't always change our decision based on what she had said. But she learned something about measuring her words. And she learned ways to communicate in conflict that helped to be slow to speak. I can't tell you how many times I've had to confront someone on something and wished after the fact that I had sat and written my thoughts out first. Think about what an impact this will have on our children as they enter into social media spheres, when they get into an age where that is something that becomes a part of their lives. Nothing about social media is slow to speak, is it? In fact, if you don't weigh in within 15 seconds of whatever the latest thing is that happened out there, people say, where were you? We don't even value being slow to speak. We count it as being absent from the conversation. But we could raise children who think before they speak.